Thank you for telling me that. Let's spotlight this bad boy.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay, so we've got our little dot right there, and we're using an artist touch, which means I'm going to hold the pencil more like this than if I'm doing a math problem. So I'm going to do a real light line there. I'm going to do a real light line there. I'm going to stop. And now we're going to turn this into three-dimensional drawing. I'm going to take my eraser at the very bottom of the page right here, and I'm going to line it up with the side, and I'm going to make a little tiny line right there. So do you see how much space I have? And then this is going to be tough to do, so you got to go slowly. We're going to connect this dot right here to this dot right here. So it's going to look a little bit like that. So let's see if I do a good job on it. Boom. So now we've created this three-dimensional table, and we're going to put something absolutely ridiculous on top of it. But you got to remember, when I draw crazy things, you have to remember that we're doing surrealism, which means it's all a crazy dream, everything about it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do right here, I'm going to put a happy face like this. Okay? And once I'm done with that, I'm going to turn it into an egg. And the way I'm going to do that is just bring it up like this. And I'm going to go slow as I can. And it's not going to be a perfect egg, but it's going to be pretty good. And then I'm going to erase that line inside. So now, once again, guys, we created this three-dimensional look where it actually looks like this egg is sitting on the table. All right. I'm going to put a happy face here and a happy face there. I'm going to put 4 eyelashes on each side. And then I'm going to come to the middle of my artwork, and I'm going to draw a straight line there and a straight line right next to it. So I've got these 2 crazy straight lines right there. And does anybody know what I'm going to turn those into? I'll give you a little hint. Salvador Dali was known for this crazy mustache he had. So watch what I do on this side. I'm going to take it down like this, curl it up right there, and stop. And on this side, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take it down, curl it up, and stop. And I'm trying to make them as close as I can to the same. And you know, who knows if I did or not, but it's pretty good. All right. And then just connect the 2 lines like this with straight lines. And now, get out your Sharpie. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the middle and work my way out. So the first thing I'm going to do is trace over his eyes and eyelashes. And it could be a boy or a girl. I mean, it's an egg, for goodness sake. Then I'm going to trace over his mustache. And go slow, guys. And I think if we go slow, we'll be able to connect all the lines a little better. And don't worry if it doesn't look perfect, because neither is mine. But Salvador Dali's always looked really good. And he really was kind of conceited. So when he would start doing his artwork and his shows, he wouldn't really talk to the critics very much. Okay, now we're going to trace over the egg. And you're going to have some pencil lines left over, but that's okay. We're just going to erase it. And one time, he was doing a show, and he spent the whole time in a bathtub. That's a true story. He was in the bathtub at his exhibit while people were walking around. Very strange. Oh, and I forgot to tell you about him getting kicked out of school. Okay, so we're gonna stop with this guy right here, and we're gonna go back to our table before we color it in. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make a clock that's melting. And it sounds like it's gonna be really hard to do, but it's not. So here's the top part of our table. So everybody rub their finger on that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start right here, okay? And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go straight down with a wavy line like that. So just straight down like this, but instead of the line being straight, it's a little wavy. Now I'm gonna go down the slide a little bit more to right here. And I'm gonna do another wavy line like that. Oh, mine went a little too far over. So I'm gonna do another wavy line straight down. And then I'm just gonna connect them with another crazy line. So by doing it the same way we did it with the sides of our tables, okay, we created a little balance and we made it so it looks three-dimensional. Okay, now we're gonna do the exact opposite. So this time we did vertical lines. Now we're gonna do horizontal lines. So right here, start at this side and just run a line this way. And again, it's wavy. Go down to the bottom, run a line this way, and again, it's wavy. And then just connect it however you want to. So it actually looks like it's on the table sliding off. And all we did to do that was follow the exact same lines we did before, and now erase this crazy line inside. Sharpie, and we're going to trace the table. I'm going to go straight down here and stop. I'm going to go straight across. I am not going to go in front of the egg. We do not want a line going through the egg. And then when I go diagonally, we're not going to draw on side of the clock. So I'm going to go to the clock and I'm going to stop right there. Then I'm going to come out the other side and stop right there. It almost looks like someone put a pancake on this. Oh my gosh, now I'm so hungry for pancakes. All right, next thing we're going to do, tip of your Sharpie, the very tip of it, we're going to trace our clock. Okay, and go really slow so we're getting all the little angles and all the little melting going on. I'm going to switch my paper around. Sorry, I have to because I have to see what I'm doing. All right. Now this part's the really fun part because now we're going to turn it into a clock or a watch. I think it was more of a watch. Okay, so everybody right here, put a little dot like that. And I'm going to use my Sharpie right now, but I've got to see this line that I just erased, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my line right to there and stop. Don't go too far, because now we have to melt the hands of the watch down. And now once I got to this line, I'm just going to go like this. And everybody knows that a clock has two hands. So the other one will just melt over this way like this. Okie dokie, artichoke, grab your dark blue color pencil. This is actually a watercolor one. I wish I would have known that. And all you're going to do is you're going to outline the outside here. Okay, and you can scribble it if you want to, but just kind of do a nice little outline there. And if you remember last time we talked with Rene Magritte about his clouds and how pretty his skies were, we're going to do that right now. So we did our dark blue, and on the inside, we're just going to do our light blue. And again, I'm using the side of it because I want it to be light. I'm going to go up and down. And then I've created this kind of sky or water right in the middle of our desert.
Mr. E,
Yes, Pumpkin?
can I show you something that I drawed?
Can you wait till after class and you and I can do it? And you can show me? And then I promise you and I'll look at it because I want to see it. I'm kind of excited about seeing it, Karis, to be honest with you.
Mr.
All right. Yes.
Can you please drink some coffee?
Well, actually, I'm going to have some water so I don't stay up all night. But yeah, I'll drink a little bit of water.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll come back to this in a second, but we're going to leave it just as it is right now. Okay, now we're going to work on this section. So we have this section done. We're going to work on this one. I'm going to go back to my pencil. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make a mountain just like this. So it's a 2-hump mountain, just like that. But I'm not doing the ground yet because we're going to do something really super strange on this. And again, it's things that you would never, ever, ever see in real life. But when you start talking about surrealism and you start talking about things that you can see in your dreams, it's kind of fun to do. Okay, now down here, I'm going to put the top of the head right here. And I'm going to bring it down to the middle where this hump is and bring it up like that. So now I have this little curve right here. I've got this little curve right here. And what that does, guys, is gives us balance throughout our artwork. And anytime someone's looking at art and it's really easier on their eyes and they're seeing the same kind of loose forms, it's easier to look at. Okay, now from the bottom here, we're just going to bring it down like this and close it. Okay, now I'm going to draw something, and you guys tell me if you've seen this in the artwork before. A sideways happy face with 4 eyelashes. Has anybody seen that? Sarah is the only one. Thank you, sweetheart. And the little mouth right here.
It's on the egg.
Yes, it's on. That's exactly right. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our Sharpie, and we're just going to outline this. Okay, take your time doing it. And I'm going to get my green marker and I'm going to fill it in. Now there's a couple reasons why I'm doing that. One, because it's down on the ground and we're going to work with our sky, and then we're going to have green for the grass, which people are familiar with. And the other reason is I need a reason to use my green marker. That's the real reason. But look at those fun colors now. It's looking good.
Mr. E,
What up?
check this out.
Honey, you are losing more teeth than anybody I've ever met in my life. I'm not, you're like a shark. That's how many teeth you have. Okay, right here.
My dad sometimes calls me shark bait because sometimes my teeth grow behind my other teeth.
I believe it. Okay, right now we're going to draw the ground. Now look where I drew the ground. I kept it below the table. Okay, and this is a really good trick for you guys. So anytime you're doing art and you want someone to look all the way through your art, watch what we did here. Because we start on this side, because like when you read, you start from the left and work to the right. But this line will bring us to this line, and it makes us want to stop. Then it's going to bring us up, bring us to the egg guy, and work our way across. So we've created this nice little path for people to look at when they're going through our artwork. Do not trace that or color it or do anything yet. Don't do it. Okay, next thing we're going to do, I'm going to put a straight line, look how small that is, right next to the egg guy's head. Does everybody see that? Okay, lightly, artist touch, because we're going to do some more erasing. I'm going to bring this line all the way here. And then when I get to the middle here, I'm just going to bring it down off the page. Not quite touching the ground, but pretty close.
Mr. E,
What up?
you're really scratchy.
My voice is scratchy?
Yeah.
Maybe I've been having too fun of a summer and yelling at too many concerts or something.
No, the internet is wrong.
Oh, it could be that
Yeah,
too.
you're not scratchy at all. You sound perfect to me.
Well,
It's
now,
probably I'm in California, and the internet in this house goes out and back on and out and back on a lot. So
well, I don't like that, but I would rather it be your internet than my voice sound really scratchy. But I'm going to gargle some water. Listen to this. And now tell me if my voice sounds better.
gross.
All right, now the top of this line we just did, watch what I do. I'm going to come here and it's going to get bigger and bigger, but I'm going to stop before I take it off the page. But look, it's thin right here and it gets really thick right there. But I'm going to stop before I get it off the page. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw a line up like that, another straight line, and bring it right back off the page. So I kind of made this real cool branch just coming across the paper. Don't Sharpie it yet. We've got to draw more crazy bending clocks. Am I going too fast or are we doing okay?
Background.
And here's the other thing, guys, with these branches.
Red coffee.
On the background. If you ever look at a tree, all the branches are so different. Like you will never, ever, ever find two branches. So if yours doesn't look like mine, it's all good. All right. So now we're going to come over here, and I don't want to draw on the table. So I'm going to put a line, a curved line right there, and a curved line right there. Almost like we're going to saw that tree in half. But instead of that, watch what I do. Straight down. Look how melty that looks. That's super melty.
I think it's a clock.
Yeah, it's going to be a clock. But let's do this. Before we do anything else, let's erase the bottom part of the tree and keep the top part, and that way it's holding on. Okay, now we're going to do the back side of the tree. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend this line goes through the branch. And over here, I'm just going to go a little bit of wave right there. So now we made it look like it's layered in three-dimensional.
I knew you were gonna have us do that.
I know you did. Honey, you look very sophisticated with your glasses. All right. Let's get the Sharpie. And what we're going to do first is we're going to outline the tree branch, not the clock. So I'm going to bring this line up like this. And remember, we're not doing the ground yet, right there. Okay. I'm going to trace this. And if you want to put more wiggles in it to make it look like it's got a rougher texture, do it. Do it. Do it. Okay. All right. So with the egg guy, our contrast is a lot of white with a little bit of black. With our branch, we're going to do the exact opposite. And not only is that going to add balance, it's going to add contrast to it. So I'm going to get my black marker and I'm going to try to color this in. I'm going to go slow because I don't want to go outside the lines. If you do, that's fine. Don't ever get frustrated with doing art. Sometimes my biggest mistakes are my best artwork. So don't ever get upset about that. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to the other side. I'm not coloring in that clock just yet. All right. I'm going to give you guys a second or two to do that. I'm going to drink some water.
Mr. E, check out my glasses.
Honey, I like those.
They're cheetah print.
Yeah, they're cool. All right. Okay, now I'm going back to my Sharpie. Did I give you guys enough time to color that in? I'm gonna give you a little more time. I tell you guys, I start cruising a little bit. When I get excited to see how this artwork turns out, I get kind of excited about it.
Well, I'll show mine anytime.
I know you will.
Thanks for Mr. A, thanks for sending me some of the artwork that you made.
Oh, sweet. Oh, did you get it? Yeah, and I love it. So you guys, Ellie is all the way in Marin County, which is in San Francisco.
Whoa!
I know.
I went from Colorado to there in the car, and it stinks. And then I'm gonna leave tomorrow morning, which is gonna be annoying.
And I wasn't supposed to tell anyone this, but Ellie drove most of the way. All right, grab your Sharpie. Now use the tip of it and just outline the melting clock. Okay, so just outline the melting clock all the way across. And don't forget the back. So everybody just do that. And then we're going to turn it into a clock. We're going to have the hands in a second. I'm going to give you a second to do that. I'm going to put a circle right there, just like we did right over here. And when I bring this down, I'm just going to do it wavy like that.
Hey, Mr. E, guess what I just got?
A big, huge hug from your mom, I hope.
No.
Oh.
Even better. Sonic.
You think Sonic's better than a hug from your mom? Come on, girl.
I'm gonna roll for that, okay?
You might not get a Sonic again. Okay, this back part.
Chicken.
I'm going to color this part. Hold on, baby doll. I'm going to color this part purple, the back of it, and I'm going to outline the inside of it purple. And then I'm going to do light blue on the inside. Okay? Same thing. And this is kind of back to Rene Magritte. We're just kind of putting his art into Dali's art. But they're both surrealists. So Rene Magritte, I told you he wasn't very nice and he made a lot of bad choices. He got kicked out of 2 art schools for being feisty. And then the surrealist painters, so there was a group of them, they wanted to kick him out of their surrealist art group because he made such bad choices. So what he did was, instead of going to their meeting to talk about it, he left, went to Paris, and had dinner with Pablo Picasso. True story. Now remember, we did not do anything back here. Okay? So watch what we're going to do. Way up here, I want everyone to draw a circle like this. Okay? And look how scribbly mine is. Then, remember when we're doing math problems, we hold our pencil like this? We're going to hold it like this because we're going to use the side of our pencil and we're going to shade it in like this. So everybody shade it in like this. And then take your finger and rub it around a circle like that. Okay, so now we got rid of all that texture. We totally smoothed it out. And we're going to start adding to it. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is right here. I've got my pencil kind of like a math. I'm going to put a backwards C right there. But it's not touching. Do you see that? Backwards C. And it's big because this is going to be the elephant's ear. And now I'm going back to the side of my pencil and color it in and then rub it in. Now we're keeping it as a pencil. We're not going to color this in. We're not going to do anything in it because we don't want it to be our focal point. But we do want this mysterious image in the back. Okay, now artist touch again. We're going to bring this elephant trunk way down here. Okay. And I'm going to bring it up and we're going to color it in again on the side. And it doesn't matter if we color on the Sharpie because the Sharpie is much darker and it'll hide any lines that we have. So even though I colored over it, it gets hidden there. Isn't it funny, you guys? We can do all these crazy stuff. All you have to do for an elephant is draw a trunk and everyone knows exactly what it is. All right. Okay, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna do an oval for the body. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here and just draw an oval like this. Color it in. And rub it in.
My finger's turning black.
I know, look,
Mine too.
art can be a little messy.
Look at mine.
You see, I'm gonna look at here, I'm gonna go to the, everybody put your fingers in the screen. Hold on a sec. Let's gallery view this real quickly. Let's see how messy we're getting here. Okay, that's pretty good. That's how I can tell who's working hard out there. Nice, nice. Do we still spotlight it here? Okay, now here's the fun part, or the strange part, I guess, about this elephant. So let's do his back leg first. So I'm going to draw the leg. Then we're going to make it really skinny. And look, I'm just kind of scribbling this. And I'm going to put a big circle right there and hide it behind the table. So that's going to be the first leg. And if I get some on the table, I can erase it. Now the next leg, we're going to do.
It looks like it's playing.
So I'm going to go like this. And I'm not going to draw through the clock, but I will come here and put a circle right on the outside of the clock. Then a straight line down from the circle. And another circle. And a straight line way down here. So now that leg is actually walking on the ground. Now, some of you guys thought that elephants only had 2 legs. They don't. They have 4. And if you don't believe me, go look at the zoo. Okay.
We know.
I don't know. All right, so look what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a little V right there. Straight line down, circle. Straight line down, circle. Straight line down. Then I can just go fade it in. Looking good. And we'll do the other leg like he's walking around this way. And this one will get hidden behind the table again. So no biggie there. All right. So now we have this weird kind of mysterious elephant in the background with no real features. Really long, and that would be kind of terrifying. Okay, now go back to the ground and just run that line right there. Okay, and now the final part of our drawing is we're going to go right here. And we're going to draw the moon, and it's going to be a full moon, and it's going to be behind the tree. And I'm going to try not to put it on the elephant. And in the very middle of this, I'm going to put another circle. Now, if you were at the Rene Magritte class, you would know that one of his artworks was this big eye, and I'm tracing it right now with the Sharpie, guys. It's called false mirror or something. I can never remember.
I heard about the eyeball, but after that, it sort of ended.
That's when it kind of cut out.
It was like 10 minutes, and then boom, it was done.
Oh, and I'm going to fix. Hey, one of these days, I'm going to have that figured out. It's going to be really good. Okay, Do not color this in yet.
Dust.
We're going to get our light blue pencil. And we're going to make 1 straight line, 2 straight lines, 3 straight lines, 4 straight lines. But 1 went behind the tree. That's okay.
This is the eye that has like the clouds.
Right. Now remember, little bump, big bump, 1, 2, 3. Little bump, big bump, 1, 2, 3. All the way. So do the exact same thing. And remember, this is our repetition. This is our pattern because Rene Magritte used to do the wallpaper. Do you guys remember that story? And then I'm going to color these in lightly. And I'm going to color the back end with my dark blue like this. That would be a really cool moon to see. Maybe not. I always think it would be, but I think I'd be really scared if I actually saw that.
I would run and tell you because you're the person who told me, well, had me draw that.
Don't, honey, don't blame me. That would have been what we call a mistake. Okay, we got a couple more things to do before we wrap this up. So right here, watch what I do. I'm going to draw a long line right there.
Mr. E, drink coffee.
Oh, sorry.
Coffee/water.
And again, that's supposed to be Matthew's job, and he is not doing a good job helping me at all. Come on, Matthew. Figure it out, Buster.
I'm the assistant.
Okay, this is just going to be 1 cloud right here, and I'm going to go 1 just like we did. 1, 2, 3. And I'm just going to color it in with the pencil. And so what we kind of did on this, you guys, if you look at it, we had this very colorful, dreamlike one with our objects, and then the background we made black and white, so we just kind of threw that around. Now the last thing we're going to do with our black crayon, we're going to do a really good job just coloring in the ground right here. Not the table, just the ground. And we're not going to rub this in because we're going to like that kind of rough texture that we see in our artwork. And I don't know if I tell you guys this or not, but we got to do a better job signing our artwork. And you always want to sign in the bottom right-hand corner, or really wherever you want to.
What I do is I sometimes do a swirly C and a swirly P.
Oh, that's good. I wish I would have thought of
I
it.
just do it in cursive and it's really, really sloppy.